Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to another book chat. Okay, so let's talk about book recommendations. So in a previous video, I asked you to recommend what books you thought I should take for the flight down to Tonga and my stay in Tonga, and what of the books that I already had selected I should be starting with first. And yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about book recommendations. I have written a blog about it previously, ages ago. It was the terror and tyranny of book recommendations, because I find it really stressful. What I like, other people don't necessarily like. I mentioned in another video that I recommended Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I hope that's pronounced right. And the friend I recommended it to, I think I slightly traumatized her. So that was unfortunate. I also gave another very young friend a copy of Roald Dahl's Revolting Rhymes, which I adored when I was her age. And apparently, yeah, she couldn't sleep. So I'm the worst person ever. I will be forever banned from buying books for people. But anyway, so I'm very, very hesitant about book recommendations. When I had my bookshop, I found that really just the worst part, because my tastes are just, well, no one's taste the same as anyone else's. We can like the same genre and still not like the same books. And that's just, that's what it is. That's why we are different. That's why we're individuals. And it would be really, really boring if it wasn't like that. But there's still this kind of sense of, if I recommend a bad book, is that going to make them think really badly of me? And I guess as I get older, I care a little bit less about that. But my friend had this fantastic idea last year that we were going to give each other our favourite books for our birthdays. This is really, really hard for me because I don't have a favourite book. I have authors I love. I'm still not sure I'd call them favourite authors. They're authors I read a lot of because I know that though I'm always going to get a good story out of them. So, obviously Stephen King, Philip Pullman's another one that, no, but see, both of those I've been let down by certain books as well. So I never really think I've got a favourite author as such. And definitely not a favourite book. That's really, really hard. So I thought about it for ages, and I thought sort of, okay, well, given who it is that I'm recommending the book to, and so one of my favourite authors is definitely Neil Gaiman, because he's brilliant. He writes beautifully. He has a wonderful blending of folklore and the supernatural with everyday life, and I remember when I first read his Neverwhere, it was a revelation to me. I was like, wow, what is this, and where can I read more of it? That was just incredible. I loved it so much. But his American Gods is that to me is an incredible book. There's so much depth and so much going on, and it tackles so much of society and politics and all sorts of things within the guise of this one big story about gods. So I gave that to my friend. I don't know if she liked it because she hasn't really told me. I don't actually know if she finished it, so I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's two kind of fairly failed recommendation, or three actually. Yeah, two traumatized people and one who may not have enjoyed it. Going good. But anyway, I'll just mention quickly that my friend did recommend A Prayer for Owen Meany to me by John Irving. I have read John Irving before. I think The Hotel New Hampshire and something else. There's one about a writer. I don't remember the name. He's a good writer. I like his style. I like his actual writing is beautifully fluid, and it really pulls you into the characters really well. And they're not eventful books. They're not gripping. They're not sort of edge you see what's going to happen next. But you are drawn in by this lovely writing. And so it's a very different sort of reading, but I do enjoy it when I'm in the mood for it. And my friend reads A Prayer for Owen Meany sort of once a year. She absolutely adores John Irving, and this is her absolute favourite book of his. And this is an interesting thing because, we're not very alike, but we're very good friends. And Prayer for Owen Meany for me was felt very contrived. I kind of got to the end and I was like, right, that was just a really big setup for the end. That's all the story was. That's all it felt like to me. So I didn't enjoy it hugely. But that is the nature of book recommendations, and I'm glad I read it because it was an interesting read, and I always enjoy John Irving. So There we go. So tell me, what have been your most failed book recommendations you've made to other people? And what was a book that was recommended to you by someone who you share a lot of tastes with? I should have mentioned that as well. We do share a lot of reading tastes, my friend and I. So it was quite funny that these two don't seem, my one to her and her one to me, don't seem to have worked at all. So what sort of little recommendation failures have you had like that, and what would you like to risk recommending to me? So I've got something else to read. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.